Yo people, what is up? Welcome back. It is time for another guitar tutorial, and the reason we're doing back-to-back guitar tutorials is in honor of the Grammys that just happened. And the song that we're going to be learning is "Shallow" by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper from A Star Is Born. And I've never seen the movie. I've wanted to see the movie, but I haven't seen it yet. But the song is very good, and I'm going to teach you how to play it. And you're going to need a lot of patience with this song because it is a lot of finger picking. A lot of arpeggio style is what it's called. So you're not going to pick this up right after you learn this video. It's not going to take you one time to watch this video to figure out how to play it. Believe me, I'm still working out the kinks with it, but it's actually, once you figure it out and you get the rhythm down and you get the chords down and all that, it's fairly simple. There's really not a lot of movement going on. But it's a little difficult. It's more difficult than what we have been learning. So I'll just leave it at that. So before we get into the tutorial, obviously make sure you hit the subscribe button down here, and make sure you watch the other videos as well. But subscribe to the channel. So let's get into the tutorial. Now, this song is in standard tuning. There is no capo, so you can play this thing straight up. Let's see. Here we go, right there. So now, there are a lot of different chords in this song. There's a decent amount of movement going on. It's not as simple as, I'm not going to say it's as simple as you start on a G chord and then you pick these strings. No, it's not really that. You gotta move around. You gotta start. People play this differently. This is the easiest way that I figured out how to play it, for myself at least. I'm going to teach you the way that I learned it. And then if you find a way that's easier, do what you got to do. If it's easier for you to start with the chords all planned out first and then lift off, then you do that. But for me, it's easier to do it the way that I did it. So I'm just going to play through the intro first. We're going to break this down section by section, and then I'll play the section, and then I'll go back and give you the tutorial on each section. All right, so here's the intro. Alright, so the way to play that, you're going to start with your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and then you're going to pretty much have open everywhere else. So you're going to start with, you're going to pick the low E string twice, then you're going to go to the 3rd fret of the B string, then the open on the G. So it's... Then you're going to do, put your pointer finger down on the 2nd fret of the low E string, pick that once. So it's... And then you're going to add your middle finger to the 2nd fret of the G string. And then you're going to pick all 3 of those strings at the exact same time. So you're picking the low E string, the G string, and the B string at the exact same time. Just those 3 strings. Just like that. And then from there, you're going to put your middle finger to the 3rd fret of the low E string. And pick the same 3 strings. So I'll play it again slowly. It's... Just like that. The second part is like this. So basically what you're going to do here for the second part, this is how the second part's played of the intro. So you're basically going to go up, or down and up the guitar. It's kind of like a little bit of a walk. So essentially it's like this. You're going to start almost like a C chord, just take your middle finger off. The way I do it is take your middle finger off, and then you're going to pick the 3rd fret of the A string, and then you're going to 3rd fret of the A string, open on G, 1st fret of the B string. So it's... And then you're going to pick the 3rd fret of the B string. Put your pointer finger, or your pinky finger down and pick the 3rd fret of the B string. And then you're going to walk back up the guitar. So then you're going to go open on G, 3rd fret of the A string. So it's... on the high E string, and then 3rd fret of the B string again. So that whole thing, that whole second part of the intro is. Alright, so the first 2 parts, we have this. Now the next part is where you can strum a little bit. You don't want to strum the whole, all 6 strings, but you're going to do this. You're going to put your, so what you're going to do is you're going to put your pinky finger and your ring finger down on the 3rd fret of the B and the high E string. Strum those, just the bottom 3 strings, and you're going to mute it then. So you're going to, don't let it ring out. Don't let it ring out. You're going to pick it and mute it. And then it's going to be the 3rd fret of the B string and the 2nd fret of the G string. And then you're going to pick the, not the bottom 4 strings, but the 3 of those strings. So you're going to pick the D, G, and B. So it's. Now, the transition from the second part of the intro into there, you're going to pick the 3rd fret of the low E string. So in between that, it's like this. Just like that. So you have to transition between that. If you don't, it's not that big of a deal, but it'll sound like this. So it's not terrible, but it just adds that extra note in there that makes it sound a little bit better. So if you need to forego that and you're struggling to get it down, you can do that and skip by it. Now the next part after the is you're going to basically be playing a D string, but you're going to hammer on with the middle finger. So it's open, 2, open. So it's like, and then pick the B string and then the G string. So it's. So that whole part with the strum is. Now, for the intro only, this is only the intro. The verse is going to be pretty much the exact same thing of what I just showed you, but just for the intro, you end the intro like this. So you're going to be playing. You're going to have your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and you're going to play open on the high G, on the low G, or the low E. I'm sorry. Then you're going to pick the 2nd fret of the A string right here. Then the 3rd fret of the B string, and then open on G. So it's. So far the entire intro is like this before we finally close the intro. The whole intro is like this. Now, to end the intro, you're just going to do what you kind of did in the beginning. You're going to put your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the low E string, and then your middle finger on the 3rd fret of the G string, and pick that, and then do this part. Put your middle finger on the 3rd fret of the low E string, and pick that. So it's. So that ending is this. That's the intro. So one more time, I'll play through it. So you have to, the hardest part is switching and not getting that muted sound, like, you know, when you switch and it's just kind of all jumbled together, basically. That's the hardest part of doing that. The more you practice it, the more you play it, the more comfortable it'll become. But that's the intro. The verse is the exact same thing. The same thing, except you are not playing this ending part. You're not playing the. Alright, you're not playing that. You're just going to go from. right back to the beginning of that whole sequence there. So it's you're gonna go right from. So let me play through the chorus for you here, and then I'll explain how to play it like we did with the intro and the verse. So it's very different, but here's how you do it. You're going to start with an A minor chord, and you're going to just keep that on the first part of the chorus. So you're going to pick the A string, the D string, the G string, back to the D string. So it's very easy. And then you're going to stay in the same position. You're going to go down to the E string, the high E string. So it's you're just going to go up up the string. So it's A, D, G, D, high E, B, G. It's that simple. So it's next part is where it gets a little tricky. So the way I do it is it's a D chord like this. However, you have to pick this second fret at the top. So I curl my thumb around to pick it. So it's not easy to do that. You got to practice it, and you got to strain your hand a little bit. Now there are other ways to play this. This is not the only way to do this. You can very easily put your pointer finger here, put your middle finger here, and basically play a D chord with these three fingers down here. Okay, so if I take my pointer finger off, this is a D chord. It just looks very awkward, and it feels very awkward as well. And you can just pick it like this. What I found, though, for me at least, is going from A minor to that position that quickly is very hard to do. So for me, it's easier to go from A minor to that. A minor to that. Now, you might be different, but that's my alarm to wake up. Now, you might be different, but for me, it's easier to just do it that way. So whatever's more comfortable for you, but that's what you do. You go from A minor to D, basically, and then you're going to pick the low E string, and then you're again going to do the same thing. You're going to go to the D string, G string, B string, high E, and then back up. Just like that. So the first two parts are like this. And now you kind of get to the bass line when it walks down the bass line. So it's like a G chord, but you don't need to play these bottom strings down here. So I just put my middle finger on the third fret of the E string, and then pointer finger on the second fret of the A string, and then you just go down. You go E, A, D, G. And then you're going to go back to that D that we just did. So again, if it's easier for you to do this, go for it. For me, it's easier to do that. Whatever's easiest for you. So you go. And you're only picking, when you do the D, you're only picking the second fret of the E. Then you're going to go to the D, G, and then B. You're not picking the rest of it. So it's... Again, it is hard to do that. It's not easy. So it's... I'll play it slow. And then very simply, you're just going to end like this. You're just going to put your pointer finger on the second fret of the D string. You're going to play low E, second fret of the D, G, D, and then you're going to go high E, B, G. That's simple. So that end is... And then it repeats itself over and over and over again until you get to the interlude. So then it gets into the bridge, the interlude, whatever you want to call it, and this is where I start to strum. So the way it's played is like this. goes into the chorus like that from there, and then I strum out the chorus as well. So if you want to strum the chorus, well, hold on, I'll do the interlude first. So it's very easy. You're just going to do E minor, and you're going to go to B minor, which is bar of the 2nd fret, middle finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and then you're going to do your ring and pinky finger are going to be on the 4th fret of the D and G string. Then it's a D chord, and then an A chord. So it's you play that twice, and then it goes into the chorus. So from the A chord, it's to the A minor. So if you want to strum the chorus, it's A minor, D, G, D, E minor, and that's that. And then that's the rest of the song. They just plays that out through the rest of the song, and that's the song. Obviously, it's not as easy as what we have been learning. It's still not too difficult of a song, but it's something that you're definitely going to have to practice a lot. It's not like Every Rose Has Its Thorn, where it's just a couple chords and play it, or the other one, the last one that we learned, Greatest Love Story. It's not a couple chords and then that's it. That's the song. This one, there's a lot more to it. Now, if you really wanted to, you could strum the whole song and sing it that way. But if you want to play it and get the nice emotional effect to it, I guess you want to call it, finger picking it sounds a lot better to me, in my opinion. With most of the song, at least in the verse and the intro and then the first chorus. So that's the way I do it. Again, what helps me learn the song, learn a lot of songs, is playing the song. Go on your phone, go to Apple Music or Spotify, whatever you have, play it and try to play along with it. You're not going to be able to do it the first time. There's no way. There's no way you're going to be able to play this song, pick it up the first time. Stop, start it, break it down section by section, and then figure out the transitions, put it all together. Even if you have to go into the intro, like the way I just taught it to you today, and break it down. Okay, the first section of the intro is this. The second section is this. Third section is this of the intro, and then transition them all together, and then play along with the music, and you'll be able to figure it out. Also, even if you're not a good singer, sing it in your head as well, or just sing it to yourself while you're playing it. You'll be able to figure out the rhythm a lot easier. It sounds weird, but it's a lot simpler to actually sing it and try to play it at the exact same time. You'll be able to play the song better. You'll hear it better in your head. So just a little tip there. For me, at least, it helps. So, but that's the song. That's it. I hope you guys like the song. If you've seen the movie, let me know how the movie is. I haven't seen it yet, but I do want to see it. But anyway, just wanted to do that in honor of the Grammys. I know that was back-to-back guitar tutorials, but oh well. We're just providing content as much as we can here. So, again, subscribe to the channel in the bottom right corner down here. Hit that little button. And other than that, just watch the rest of the videos, enjoy the content, and learn some stuff. Peace.